Is the Beck Scrum, Sam and Michael in the house? I have. What have I achieved? Well, actually, in my lunch break recently, I'm going through the new RSpec book and making progress, doing little code samples in that. So it's kind of half written, and they've given me an early review copy, and that is quite interesting. I'm making slow.
Find out about you.
Well, I found out about them. I mean, I kind of, it's been fairly clear for a lot of people. Like, I mean, the old RSpec book is what's the word?
Old.
Like, it's using the old syntax, and it was clearly due for an update. And while I was in the hospital having my leg done, and after I had the operation and I couldn't sleep in the pain, I was like distracting myself by just like doing random stuff, and I basically sent emails to all of the original. There's like about 5 original authors on the RSpec book, and I kind of contacted all of them, and I said, hey, is there a plan? I mean, I was kind of like, if I could get permission from them to like rewrite their existing book and update the code examples, I think that would be pretty cool. But they said, so the guy who's actually now the maintainer of there's a guy called Myron, who's the maintainer of RSpec, is they were like, he's writing a new book, but we could put you in touch with him. And they did put me in touch with him, and I started chatting with him, and I said, hey, do you need any help or whatever? And they said, well, we could actually use a reviewer. I was explaining, the MOOC and the background, whatever. And so now, they've sent me an early, like half-finished copy of the book to like review, and I'm doing that in my lunch breaks. So that is one thing I've achieved this afternoon. I've got the 2 people, as a result of being, as you may remember from the previous Scrum, today I finished emailing everybody in Agile Ventures, which is a process which has taken me, because I'm doing it like one by one, about 2.5 months. There were 2 people who actually requested to be what I didn't make, to be completely removed, and that motivated partly the feature for deleting users, which Matt implemented, and I have used the Rails console today to remove those 2 people. And that's the other thought. What I've just done is I've putting Slack through its paces and getting like the whole list of there's now 2,981 people in the Agile Ventures system who have not requested to be deleted, and I'm just, because the Slack invites are like so not really kind of quite working, I've just putting it through its paces and asking it to just check that everybody has been invited to Slack, and so that's I'm pleased that that's happening. Otherwise, I think that's me. I want to try and get more stuff done on the PayPal thing. I've identified some flaws, and I was previously in a hangout helping. I helped Michael get unblocked on the async voter and reviewed Matt's pull request and block on Redeemify. But Matt is also here, and Susanna is here, and Michael is here. Michael, how are things going with you?
Good. We worked on Mockbot.
Mockbot, indeed.
I have a pull request into our fork of it.
Excellent. And right, so with that in, would that then be sufficient for us to, at least to make some improvements to our existing tests? Is what that will do, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Potentially use it to begin on multiple asynchronous hosts.
Right. That's the bigger goal. Great. Matt, how are things going with you?
Oh, good. Your help on Heroku was perfect. That Heroku fork did exactly.
Wonderful.
It brought it right up, and so I deleted the old app. Heroku forked the new one, and we have production. But now I'm afraid I'm going to be paying $14 a month. But
well, indeed. Well, the next thing we can do is look at the Dree setup. I can actually give you the docs for that.
Oh, maybe I should look at that. Yeah.
With the proviso that they're in a much earlier stage than Heroku. Heroku has been doing, last 5 years. They've got, much more extensive documentation. I think actually the Dree documentation is not bad. I'll just put the link in for you. But yeah, so they are an official Agile Ventures sponsor, and they're like committed to like helping us and vice versa and so on. So there's this. You're welcome to that, and I'll get you invited into the their Slack support system. So where they are perhaps less polished than Heroku, the advantage is that they're willing to give us, access to the Slack instance and get more direct support from them, which is not something we get from Heroku at the moment. So Yeah, cool. And anything else on your plate or anything blocking you at all?
Oh, I think I finished with Michael's help. After he left, I cleaned up the work I was doing for that PR to do the sorting. It's on the projects.
Okay, great.
I think that's ready. There's no. I initially thought there might be some sort of selection, like radio box, like what you want to sort on, but I think it just enhances the current sorting rather than sorting by active and inactive.
Right.
Sorts by active projects and then by last GitHub update.
Sure.
And then by number of commits. So
right.
Probably won't even be used because nothing would ever tie exactly on the date.
Yes.
That third sort could be taken off. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a bigger thing of like the original request was the ability to do different kinds of sorts. I mean, there's two things, isn't there? There's one, what's the default sort that's the best default thing for people to have, and there's a separate feature which is like, should we be giving the users the ability to sort according to a variety of things? So
fixes the default sorting a little bit.
Yeah. So I think do the simple thing first, and then we can. What's the word?
I think that's right.
Yeah, come back around on the other one. Cool. Great. Very pleased that Michael was able to help you on that one. Excellent, Matt. Thank you.
That's it. I'm not ready to do anything else, but otherwise, I'll find something.
Sure. And Susanna is here. Hey, Susanna. Great to see you again. And friend. Hello, friend.
DuPont.
So you have a couple of doggy friends there.
I have one in my lap and one in the sofa.
Yeah, indeed. I thought I detected two different sizes of canine friend. Great stuff. Are you going to tell us the names of the dogs?
This one is DuPont.
The big one?
No, this is the small one. It's a baby.
Oh, right. I thought I saw you holding a much smaller one before.
Yeah, but then he was even smaller. He's grown up.
Okay, right. I mean, I meant like about 3 or 4 seconds ago. Just in the small version of the camera, I thought there was a much smaller dog, but maybe you were just holding his head. So there's only one dog with you at the moment.
No, the other one is in the sofa.
Okay, all right, okay. But yeah, so I'm just giving you anyway.
He's feisty. His name is Feisty.
It's great to meet DuPont. So how are things going with you?
I've done 2 pull requests, which went smoothly, I think. I don't know, and then I'm at one which work in tests, but don't work when I try it out. So I'm thinking there might be something wrong with the rake that we're running to set up the database, but I'm not sure. I have no idea. So that's where I'm at. All
right. Yes, it is a frustrating thing there where the tests work, but then manually it doesn't. And there often seems to be this deficiency or this slight difference between the tests and the manual thing, and that's where the bugs creep in. And yes, most frustrating. Okay, great. Well, that's our Scrum then. Does anybody else have any other pressing business? I'm going to ask. So I've just sent a thing to Dree asking if they can invite you, Matt, into their support room for Agile Ventures. Susanna, are you interested in? I know you've just got stuff hosted on DigitalOcean because Raul was telling us about it yesterday. Are you interested in also trying the free Dree push plan from our sponsor?
I have no idea what that is, but probably.
Yeah. So that's actually the documentation links are just there. I put them in the thing. It's basically Dree is a kind of competitor for Heroku and DigitalOcean and so forth, and they're sponsoring us and providing sort of free hosting for Agile Ventures folks, and they're very keen to meet. Anyway, so no rush. If you'd like to be invited into their support in Slack thing, which is another Slack instance, then just let me know. Otherwise, feel free to just put it on your list of stuff to get to when you're interested. Because I think you'll be paying like DigitalOcean some chunk of small amount of money per month. Right?
$5.
Yeah. So I mean that's maybe you've got resources to cover that, but I think they've invited you, Matt. So anyway, just let us know if you want some help and support with that at some point, Susanna.
Maybe for the next project.
Yeah, sure. No worries. I think that's an interesting thing there, of course, with all these things, is that just, taking on something new is non-trivial. I mean, we previously migrated, this is like a couple of years ago now, we moved from Heroku to Ninefold to get free SSL certificates at the time. And that was a learning curve. And then actually, ultimately, Ninefold folded and we had to move back to Heroku. And that was a very interesting DevOps experience. And I think it was a valuable experience, but it was not without, there's all these different degrees of risk to trade off and so on. Anyway, great. So, yes. I have about an hour left before I have to take my kids out to their football thing. I guess I was just going to bring up, well, Matt, it sounds like you're free to do stuff. Michael, are you keen to switch back to Rails, or what are you want to push on BotMock and async bot going forward?
Work on Rails if you want.
Yeah. I guess I was just going to look at this, the pull request. Right, that's this. And so this is the code that we were looking at in the previous thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks good to me. I think that can be safely merged. Yeah. So, well, I guess I'm just, I need to, I think, focus really on this PayPal and move it forward. I'm kind of looking at my bank balance and seeing that there's not much money left, and I just have to open up these other channels for money to come into Agile Ventures. So I'm gonna do that. I'll create a Hangout. If people want to come in, what I'll say is I'm just gonna need to move fast on that. So, I'll be willing to answer questions and to an extent, but I've also just got to get it done. I would say Matt and Michael, if you want probably a more interactive pairing session, maybe pair with each other on something, or up to you. Feel free to come and observe what I do on the PayPal thing. But I think I'm going to have to try and say that my gradually shrinking financial reserves are making me want to move. Like bang, 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 bang. So yeah, just be warned. You make it a wonderful spectacle. But yeah, does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I won't bother you. I think I'll probably play with Gree a little bit. So
Cool.
It's probably better myself because I'm just gonna poke around.
Sure. Oh, of course, feel free to create a hangout, like a Redeemify hangout, because there may be, and this is what I was trying to encourage people to do. Even it's the same for Susanna. Even if you're just poking around with stuff, if you create the hangout, other people may drop by, and also creates a recording of that thing, and it anyway, see how you go. I think that's our Scrum. I'll stop it there. And Susanna, so great to see you in the Scrums. It's really, really excited about how active SHF Projects is, and looking forward to. Did you have a deadline that was in December to get something done, or what was?
It's 14 days past deadline, so that's all right.
Okay, all right, okay. But so are you? Have you? I guess your DigitalOcean. You've got like sort of a partial. Like the Met Plus projects have been going for like a year and a half, and they still haven't got their first MVP out. Not that's something we want to encourage, but are you've got kind of like now with the DigitalOcean, have you got something hosted that people can sort of look at and see what the system looks like?
Yes, it's sort of done, but this bug that whatever I discovered just now is a pretty major thing.
Mm-hmm.
If that is a thing,
yeah.
Or if I didn't do anything wrong.
What's the URL for the, like, is it sort of a staging server that you have?
No, I have the real.
Oh yeah.
I can paste it.
Yeah.
It's here is the production.
Oh right. Excellent.
And here is the develop.
Great. Cool. Yeah. Now, do you have the links to those URLs in some documentation somewhere? Is it on the GitHub profile or something? I'm
not sure. Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Anyway, I often write, it's not good to have a sort of DevOps page, or even just in the README to link to where they are. Well, that's great. Yeah, obviously frustrating if there's a new bug, but great to see that you've got something up. Yeah, wonderful. All right. Well, go on.
All those links are going to the WordPress site, so now you're on the WordPress site.
Okay, interesting. Good stuff. Well, I hope to find out more about it on another occasion. As I say, I think I must go and work on these payment integration stuff. But yeah, see you again real soon. All right, bye for now.
Bye.